How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Where's everybody from?
Everywhere.
Arizona.
California.
You don't want to hear California, but yeah.
Germany.
Yeah.
My gosh, that's our farthest yet. Netherlands. We're all over the place. Here.
What's the furthest away?
Well, it'd either be Netherlands or Germany, and I don't have an atlas in front of me to get it out and find out which is closest, or which is closest, which is further. We're gonna grant them a tie on this one.
The big palm.
I just didn't hear what they said, so.
That's all right.
Well, everybody comes in from all over. Now, Keon is going to be a naturalist here. He's from Miami, so he's close by. He knows his stuff pretty good. I'm from Illinois, so I don't know squat. They brought me down here to drive boats. And Barry, I don't know where he's from either. He's
Joyzy.
Jersey.
No, Joyzy.
Jersey. He's even got the Jersey accent. Yeah.
South Jersey.
South Jersey. I used to be in the horse trailer business. There's a gal from Dina Hurley, Crossroads Trailer Sales. She was from South Jersey. Very good
You
friend
know
of
a
mine.
guy named, I can't remember his name, McCormick. He used to sell trailers down in that area.
I don't know McCormick. That's what Dina and her husband do.
He might be,
Dina and Charlie.
might have been too young.
Yeah.
He did it years ago.
All right, everyone. My name is Marty. I will be your captain today. Keon here, he is your naturalist, so he's going to be narrating this tour for you today and answering questions. And we've got the additional benefit where we've got Park Ranger Barry on board here with us, so he'll be around to answer questions for you also. So you guys, between these two, you got all kinds of talent and knowledge of what's going on stuff. Now, if a person doesn't really care whether they got correct facts and just wants to hear a great line of BS, then you come talk to me. I like that. All right. Quick safety spiel. This is a Coast Guard inspected vessel. We do have all the necessary Coast Guard equipment on board. I've got fire extinguishers back here. I have got life jackets inside these lockers here. I've got a life ring up in the front, and we've even got a few throwable devices tucked in down the side. Now, I don't see where we've got any small kids. Their life jackets are under here, but I guess we don't need to worry about that. With that, Keon will show us how to put these life jackets on, and we will get underway here.
All right, folks, so for the life jackets, it's pretty simple, straightforward. What you're going to want to do first is have it right in front of you, and you're going to want to get this strap right behind you. So you'd place it on like so. Once that's completed, it'll go right over your head, where you'll then grab this clip it onto this ring, and adjust by pulling the strap a little bit further. Now, if we do ever ask you to go overboard with one of these on, we do suggest you put your hands in this gap, just because when you get into the water, you can fly up and smack you, and that can be very unpleasant. Also note that the average depth today is going to be about 4 to 5 feet deep, so most parts we could just stand up. And that's all. Total 19.
Activity Center. This is Pelican 2. 19 Pelican 2.
I got 19 checked in, so you're toward.
Thank you. All right. Keon is going to get us untied here, and then he's going to climb on the front of this boat and show everybody one of the most amazing feats that he has ever shown people before. So, and he's a little sensitive to things, so I want to make sure everybody applauds him no matter what you think of the actions. And this will kind of set the pace on what kind of tour you're going to get stuck on. We have been very lucky the first 2 trips this morning. Can't make any guarantees because it's wildlife, but the first 2 trips have been very, very good. Oops. I pull a little pressure off that line, you might be able to get that off there. All right. There he is. He tucks and he dips his line. I want you to see the amazing talent and intensity that goes through this. He gets this gate open. He walks through this gate. most of the time he remembers to hook it again. Looks like he is getting it hooked this time. And 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! There we go. Well, that concludes our tour today.
Now I can just turn back.
All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome to our backcountry boat tour. Today I'll be your naturalist for today, and my name is Keon. With us, thank you. With us, we also have our Captain Marty here, and of course our Park Ranger Barry.
Go, Barry.
Go Barry. And welcome to Everglades National Park. Now, before we get our journey started, I always ask this little question here. How many of us have actually ever visited Everglades before? Okay, we got a good amount of people. Awesome. Well, welcome back to our lovely national park. And for those of you who are new, welcome to the Everglades. Now, Everglades National Park is going to be one of the first national parks dedicated for its biodiversity in the year of 1947. Whereas other parks are set aside for their geological aspects, like the canyons, the mountains, and the geysers, here in our park, we're not really known for that kind of stuff. We're known more for unique species of wildlife. We have many different species of mammals, reptiles, fish, insects, amphibians, and even birds. In fact, we are actually going to have a look at one of our large, scaly apex predators in the park that most people come to see, our American crocodile, here at our 10 o'clock, folks. And you can feel free to take a closer look. Now, folks, we are indeed looking at an American crocodile, but I am getting a little bit ahead of myself. How am I 100% certain that this here is a crocodile and not an alligator? I heard someone said shape of the nose, and that is correct. Crocodiles are going to have a V-shaped narrow snout, as we see with this one, while alligators have a U-shaped broad snout. Are there any other indicators I'm missing? Color. Color indeed. Crocodiles, as we see with this one, are going to have a light green to gray color, while your alligators typically a dark green to black color. Any other indicators?
The teeth.
The teeth, yes. Crocodiles are known for their notorious crocodile smile. We can't quite see it well with this one, but if it was to be revealed with its mouth closed, you'd see both top and bottom rows of teeth, kind of like it's smiling at us. For alligators, though, they only have the top rows of teeth. Oh, it looks like we got a school of mullet to our left here, too. It's going to be a type of bait fish that a lot of animals use for feeding purposes. Usually going to be the birds, and even the crocodiles will feed on those guys. So the fact that we're seeing a bunch of them in here lets us know that the ecosystem here is quite healthy, flourishing even. And lastly, folks, alligators will see you later, while crocodiles will see you in a while. It looks like you were waiting on that one, weren't you? Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be annoying.
No. You came to the right boat tour. I have a lot of dad jokes in the back pocket.
Make it fun.
So already off to a good start. We got to see our first crocodile of the boat tour, our large scaly apex predator. But I also want to mention our birds, because we in fact have about 360 different species. They either fly through or call this place their home. And one of the birds I want to mention today is going to be these birds right here at our 2 o'clock, known as ospreys, a type of bird of prey, more specifically a specialized hawk that will feed primarily on fish. You usually find them around large bodies of water, such as that one straight ahead, known as Florida Bay. Other parts of the world, you might know them as seahawks or fishing hawk. And we also see this large nest that they built over the years. Each year, they're going to return to that same nest, which has been here for well over 10 years. And when they return around September-October period, they're going to have a lot of cleaning up to do, and that's because they've been away for a while. That nest has succumbed to the elements, like the wind and the rain, and they got to clean it. So what typically occurs is that the male osprey, once returned, will bring with him a stick. And with this stick, he believes, is the perfect stick. It's going to make that nest up there look beautiful once more, and further reinforce it. The female osprey, however, she has other plans. She can be picky at times, and so if she disapproves of that stick, she'll actually go out her way, grab it, and toss it either into the Florida Bay or the backcountry. So it can be a real hassle when it comes to fixing up that nest. Once they do come to terms with that nest though, they will begin to lay eggs. On average, ospreys are capable of laying between 1 and 4 eggs, with most usually laying 2. Our own this nesting season have successfully laid 2, and they hatched. It'll take them about 35 to 45 days to incubate, and they do not all hatch at the same time. They might hatch between 5 days difference. Once hatched though, these chicks are just going to take 2 months for them to reach adult size. So within 2 months, they'll be the same size as their parents, and they'll be known as subadults. Compared to a lot of younger animals, that's a very fast start on life, and currently our chicks in this nest right now are about 8 to 9 weeks old, going on to that 9 to 10 weeks old. So already past that 2-month mark, and the 2 chicks up in there are in fact those chicks that were laid about 2 months ago. They look pretty much similar to the adults, but the juveniles are going to have the more of a white spots on the back of their wings. It looks like these 2 closest to us are going to be those juveniles, and possibly the mom is the one in the back. Once this 2-month mark is over, it's going to take them another 2 months to learn how to be an osprey. This will include learning how to hunt, how to fly, and how to do osprey things. During this time, the parents are going to wean away from bringing food or bring less food to those chicks, and this is to encourage them to actually go out on their own to find their food. And as of lately, we have been observing and watching these chicks learning how to fly. In fact, a couple days ago, one of the chicks took off for the very first time. It was quite a beautiful thing to witness, because at first, it kind of accidentally fell down from the nest. Not all the way down, but on the latter part, and was stuck there for about half an hour to an hour. And then after a little bit, it got tired and decided to practice flying. So it took off from there, circled around. It was funny to see because it was kind of unbalanced and clumsy, but it managed to turn all the way around and land on that nest successfully. So these guys are pretty much getting to that point where they'll eventually master the art of being an osprey and make their voyage off somewhere new. So they're going to leave that nest, but the ospreys we do find here are residents, so they're just going to travel to a different part of the park or the state. Now, if you live in a northern climate with these birds though, they'll actually fly down south for the winter, for the warmer weather and food options, just like we do. They are quite literally what we like to call snowbirds. Another dad joke. And lastly, folks, just like certain other species of birds, these guys are one of those birds to actually mate for life. So we believe it's the same pair each year, but this isn't 100% certain, and that's because they aren't chipped and tagged in any sort of way. So there's no true real way of identifying them unless we were to get a little bit close and personal, maybe get a DNA test. But other than that, we do like to believe it's the same one each year. Quite romantic to think about.